the left-hand side of your screen, you're going to see a box that says chat box. And I want to make sure that if you can hear me, you can go ahead and drop a line in that chat box saying, yes, I can hear you. And then the second thing that I want to ensure you and let you know about is that you can also indeed see my screen. So you should be also able to see my screen on your screen as well. Awesome. So today, pardon me, this morning's session is going to be going over how do you go about editing your website? So your website that your company is providing for you, how do you begin editing it? We do have a lot to get through, and so I'm going to go ahead and begin. But I also want to let you know this session is being recorded, and you will get an email this afternoon with a copy of this recording as well as our session this morning on e-marketing campaigns. And so both of those sessions are recorded and will be emailed out to you along with additional information about next week's training session. So we're excited to be moving forward and doing some training. And without further ado, we're going to start. If you have any questions as we go through items today in this webinar, please feel free to ask them. I want to make sure that you do get all the answers to your questions. So the first things first is, where do you access your website? And there are a couple ways that you can do that. You can go to your Back At You username, which is very likely your first initial last name, yourcompanywebsite.com. So that is one way you can access your website. If you don't know what your company website is, when you are looking at your back office and you click on your name in the upper right hand corner, you're going to see a button that says website. And if you click on that button, it will also open up your website here for you to edit. Now, once you go in and you want to start editing your website, to access your login, you're going to scroll to the very bottom of the screen and you're going to click on Sites Login. Now, what I do want to just quickly mention is you'll notice at the top of this screen here, I have something that says Login or Create a Portal Account. This is for your clients so that as your clients are on your website, they can go in and they can create a portal and search for properties. But today what we're going to focus on is really how do you edit your website. So you're going to click on this Sites Login here. And when you do that, you're going to enter in your user ID and password. It's the same user ID and password as you have for your back office. And you're going to click Login. When you do that, it's going to enter you into edit mode. And you know that you're in edit mode because you'll see a black bar at the top of the screen. So you'll see this big black bar here at the top of the screen. And that's how you know that you are in the edit mode for your website. Now, before we go on to the next steps, does anyone have any questions so far on how they access their website or where they go to log in? Yep. So you're going to go to your web ID or your website, which is your Back At You username, your company website.com or whatever it is. And then at the very bottom of your page, there's a section that is called Sites Login, and you're going to click on that Sites Login button. And then once you've entered your user ID and password, you're going to see a black bar across the top of your screen that lets you know that you have entered into edit mode. As you start to think about editing your website, if you have never logged in before, and I know we've got a variety of people on the session today, everyone from people who have been in the business for years and people who are just brand new. So we're going to start at the very beginning for this session. And as you're starting to edit your website, you're going to start underneath this design tab at the top of the screen. And the reason that you are going to start underneath that design tab is because this is going to choose your overall layout of your website and the look and the feel of it. And you can see here underneath there's a scroll bar, and there are many different designs for you to choose from in as options for your website. And as you're looking at this, you'll notice on the right hand side there is an image, and then, or excuse me, on the left hand side there's an image, and then on the right hand side there's a bulleted list of all of the features for this layout. And every layout has a few different features. Some have editable title options. Some have the ability to insert a video into that header. So really it is deciding what layout works best for you to go in and choose a design that fits your look and feel. Now, if you're looking for a layout that has your information as an agent at the top, you're going to want to make sure you choose a section that says agent section with customizable title and subtitle. So if it doesn't say there's an agent section, there is likely not a place on that page that has your information. So those are some of the features that you may be looking for. Some of you may be looking for an option for a video on your homepage. So you really choose what that looks like. And then once you're done, you're going to click on this green Use This Design button. And once you click there, it's going to automatically apply that design that you picked. You can see on this design, my photo used to be on that image and now it's not. And I know that it's applied because I can see a white edit button here at the top of the page. To start to edit each individual section of this website, you're going to click that white edit button, and then anything that can be changed will show with a pencil on it, and you can go ahead and edit those individual items. So we're going to start by editing this header image. And what does that look like? So I'm going to click on this edit button. It's going to open up the header that I can now change. And the first thing I'm going to choose is, do I want this to be a slideshow of images? Do I want this to be a video that displays? Or do I want it to be a YouTube video? So I have some choices for what is displayed in that section. If I want to keep it as a slideshow, but I don't like the image that's being shown on slide 1 or slide 2 or slide 3, I simply would go in and I would click on this blue change button, and then I can either upload an image or I can go into the company images if your company has uploaded images, or I can go into the back at you images, and there are stock images here. If you're choosing from an area and you want to choose a specific area, you can choose from that drop down and it will pull up those images. There are several categories on the left hand side. So if you want to look at landscape photos, you can absolutely do that. Again, clicking select on the image that you'd like to choose. Each slide you can change. You also can decide if you want to show additional slides to the first one by selecting yes or no out of that dropdown. Any questions on editing your photos before we go into how to edit a video? Okay, so the next choice you have for your website header on this particular template is if you want to use a stock video. And here you can see that it's inserted a stock video. But if I wanted to change that, changing this stock video works the same way as changing those photos. I click on the blue change button, and then I can scroll through and I can see additional videos that are available. Once I choose the video that I would like, I can change the brightness. And that is how you use a stock video. If you want to use a YouTube video, you're going to need the YouTube video URL. And to get that, you would go to YouTube. You would select the video that you would like to have displayed. And then you're going to click this share button. You need this shareable link, not this link in the header. So I'm going to click on that share. I'm going to copy the link, and then I'm going to insert it into that section. Then I choose, do you want this video to be muted? Yes or no? And you click OK. Once you do that, you can see that that video is automatically inserted into that section of the website. In order to make sure that your changes are saved, you need to click on this Save button in the upper right-hand corner anytime you see it. Otherwise, your changes will not be saved. So that is how you can go about changing your header images. Any questions there before we go through and we start to talk about links on your page and how to edit tiles and that portion? If you can drop a no in that chat box, that lets me know that you're still with me and that I am explaining things well and that you're understanding as well. Perfect. Thank you. Otherwise, I feel like I'm talking into a black abyss and I want to make sure that you're getting it. So now let's talk about the other sections of your website homepage that you can edit. So as I scroll down, you can see that all of these items have edits. Whether it is this call out item or the featured properties. And as you're editing each of these sections, they have a little bit different display, but many of them will say, hey, if you want to change the icon, again, you're clicking that blue change icon. If you want to change the link, you can select different links. So right now, this goes to open houses. This one goes to new listings. This one goes to luxury properties. And this one is a mortgage. And right now it says, where would you like this link to go? And it doesn't go anywhere. So maybe you don't want to display that on your website. You can select no. This one says insurance. Again, I just want to maybe take these ones off. And this one says home warranty. And maybe I do want this one to go to a home warranty, but I want it to go to a page my company has set up that talks about home warranties. Once I do that, I click OK. And now you can see that these icons have been edited. There used to be 6. Now there's 4. And I can click Save. We are going to get into how you can create your own custom pages. That's coming in just a few moments. So know that if you wanted to link through to a page that you had created about mortgage vendors or something like that, that is absolutely a capability within the system as well. As you scroll down, you'll also notice that on the right-hand side, there are some hide buttons. So if you want to not display, if you want to hide a section, you can absolutely do that. To do that, you would just simply click on the hide button and then click OK. And then while you're in edit mode, it will show that that panel section is hidden. But if I log out and I look at it from the consumer standpoint, you're going to see that that panel section just disappears. It just took it all the way out. So know that you can absolutely go ahead and hide things if you need to. Now, if you hide it and you decide that you want to re-show it, you can absolutely do that. You would click the blue click here to show panels button, and then you would click OK. As you're scrolling down, you can also edit these panels. Editing the panels works very similarly to editing your header image. And also you can change the number of panels you would like to display. So if 6 is too many, Great. Let's choose one. Finding a home. This is going to go to creating a portal. Selling a home, that goes to a lead form website list with us. Find your office. Maybe I don't want to find your office. I want this to be a learn more about me. Choosing the right agent matters. And I'm going to have the button say learn more. And then I'm going to select the link, and I want this to go to my profile. I want to change this image. Maybe I want to change it and insert my photo. Once I do that, I click OK, and I can see that. If I've chosen a photo that doesn't crop correctly, again, I can go back in, I can change this image, and I can say, let's choose this photo. And now I can see that that suggested image size and the image that I've selected work better. It changes it, and I can click on that save button in the upper right hand corner to save those changes. Now I look at it and I say, oh my gosh, I have 2 about me. I want this to be browse the MLS. Start looking now. I'm going to change this photo. I'm going to go to images here. I'm going to choose a real estate photo. And I'm going to have that link go to, I can either have it go to a specific listing, or maybe I just want it to go to listings for sale. Again, all of my changes are happening live. My consumers can go in and they can see what's going on, and it's easy peasy. Awesome. Can you repeat where you found the company saved link? Absolutely, I can. So when you're changing those links, when you select that link, you have a choice of back at you pages. So these are pages that are automatically generated when your website is created. There's lead sources that you can choose from. There's also custom pages. So these custom pages are pulling from your company created pages as well as your own created pages. Once you went in and chose that link, then you would click OK. Does that answer your question, Elisa, of how I got there? Yeah, no problem. So most everything on your homepage is absolutely something that you can change, either by hiding it or by going in and editing it. This new listings gauge, you can see it is showing featured homes, it's residential, it's new listings. I can sort by price, minimum, and maximum. I could choose new to the market days. So you can really customize what that listings gauge looks like as well. Same with these individual areas. There's a lot that you can do on your site. Now, what I would like to talk about next is, this is awesome. You've got a website. You can search for properties and clients can find information and you can capture leads. But what if you want to add more detail to your page, more detail than just information on listings? How can you create your own pages and add those to your website? So is everybody ready to go to that section? Do you feel good about how you would log in and look at your actual editing of your website? Awesome. So if you want to create some custom pages, you're going to go in and you're going to click next to your Back at You Sites editor. You'll notice there's a section that says pages. And so this pages section is where you can go in and you can add additional pages. Now, depending on your company, when you look at this, you may see some pages that say that they are global. What that means is, hey, your company has created some pages for you, and if you would like, you can go in and edit this. You need to know that if you are editing a global page, you are choosing to be the source of information. It's going to take everything on that company page. It's going to create a new page, but now you are in charge of keeping it up to date. You also can go in and you can add a new page that is all your own. And that's what we're going to do right now, is we're going to add a new page. There are two types of pages that you can add. You can add what I call a standard page template. So you can see up here it says standard page template, and that standard page template has information on it. It has images, it has text, and a standard page template, the information on the page stays the same until you go in and edit it. So a good example of a standard page template would be my preferred lenders, my preferred home inspectors, community resources, information that really, once you set it up, the information does not change that frequently. And as you're looking at these templates, you can see there's different layouts. So if I was going to do a my preferred lender, I might use template 6 because I can actually write some about what it means to keep your approval and the importance of choosing a good lender and different types of financings. Maybe I have a list of 5 questions I put in there that they should ask a lender when selecting them. And then I can actually feature in these columns each individual lender. The second type of page that is available to you are what are called dynamic page templates. And a dynamic page template means it is pulling information from somewhere else that is automatically updating on your website. So a good example of this would be if I wanted to create a page that was listing specific. Hey, I want to create a page that shows all the upcoming new listings, or all listings within this price point, or all listings within this community. You can go in and you can create that page and have those listings automatically update. I do recognize a few names on the call. I realize some of you are office administrators. And so there are some templates on here where if you needed to create an agents template to showcase your luxury agents or your farm and ranch agents or things like that, you can actually use these agent templates to pull from your roster. For the sake of today's, what we're going to do is we're going to create an areas template that's pulling from MLS, because if I create this page and I show you how to edit the text on a dynamic page, it works very similar on a standard page. So I'm going to select Areas Template 2, and then I'm going to click Next. And now on this page, I have a couple options. First, I have to give my page a name. So I'm going to name this page the community page. And maybe this is a specific community page. So this might be the landings listings page, or whatever it is. Whatever you want to highlight on that page, that's what you're going to name it. And then underneath this is an area where you can give your page a description. And this description should be rich in keywords. So how many of you, when I say the description should be rich in keywords, know what I mean when I say that? Know that saying you don't is a totally acceptable answer. You want to make sure that I'm giving you all as much information as I can. Awesome. So we've got a couple yeses, a couple nos. I'm going to put this in a very simplified form for all of us today. Know that if you want to do more research on keyword searches, there's a lot of information out there. But when I say keywords, what I mean is a keyword is a word or a set of words that a customer or consumer would put into the search bar, and your page would have the information they're looking for. So if I'm creating a community page about a specific community, want to know more about the listings in Ponderosa Park in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. This page will show all of the new listings from MLS, listings that are new to the market within 7 days in Ponderosa, and are represented by a brokerage. So there's a lot of words in there that talk about real estate, MLS, the specific community, the area, and the city and the state. So that as people are going to Google and typing in those words, your page shows up in results. So Francis, it's not the words that come up in searches, it's the words that people are using in searches and linking those words to your page, so your page shows up in the search results. Does that make more sense? Awesome. So you can add your description here. You do not have to add this description right now. You can add it at any time. You also can add metadata. Metadata are the tags, and this is also very simplified. Metadata are the tags that the internet used to categorize your page. You can add those at any time. You also can add it to a menu now, or you can wait and add it to a menu later. I'm going to say I'm going to wait and add these items later, and then I'm going to click OK. Now, you can see this page now has automatically generated, and there's some nice placeholder information in here, and I'm going to choose to edit the page. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a header image. Again, going to My Images, Company, or Stock Images, selecting the header that I want to have included, and checking that box. Anytime that green save button shows up in the upper right hand corner, I am clicking that save button. Then I can edit this text. So editing this text on a dynamic page works exactly the same on a standard page. I click on that edit button. I can go in. I can type all my text in here. I can insert a hyperlink. I can insert an image. I can insert a lead form. So if you want to insert a lead form into your text, you can absolutely do that. You may also, maybe you want to go in and you want to embed a YouTube video or something like that. Some of our templates do have that, but you could also go in and you could say, hey, I want to embed this video about this community. Awesome. You would go in, you would paste that in that HTML code. It's going to insert that video for you. Again, anytime that green save button is showing up, I'm clicking on save. And once you've edited your text and it looks the way you want it to, down here where you can see there's just a blank with lines, this is where you choose what listings are available. So when I click that edit button, an information criteria comes up about the areas. So here I can type in different areas, and this is going to pull directly from my MLS. You also can say, hey, I want to show only my listings. Or do I want to show only company listings? Do I want this to be only residential, or do I want to include other property types? What are the price min, the price max? How do you want them ordered? How many properties do you want to show? Once you've put in all of your changes, you're going to click save, and it's going to automatically insert and pull those properties from the MLS. If you don't like these properties, not a big deal. Go in. I could say, hey, I actually want to do price low to high, and I want to do everything that's between, $350 is the minimum, but there's no maximum. And I want to see those edits. That's great. Now you can see it's change the order, and it's going up. It's showing 60 properties. So you can edit those. Now, as new properties come onto the market, and properties are coming off the market, this property list is going to automatically update on your page for you. So you're not having to go in and add additional properties or manage that part of your page. Right now, this page only exists at this URL. so that it only exists here. I did not attach it to any menus. In order for a consumer to get to this page, they would have to have this very specific URL. Now, once you're done editing, if you want to insert it to a menu, you can do that. You absolutely can edit your menus on your page. To do that, you're going to click on the menus button at the top of the screen. Once I do that, I'm going to choose my main site menu and I'm going to click edit. And when I do that, I can see here the list of items that you see here across the top of your page. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to edit my site menu, and I can add links to this page. If I'm adding a custom page that I built, those will always live underneath this custom page section. I'm going to go in, I'm going to choose my community page. I'm going to name this New Homes in the Landings. And I'm going to attach it either as a submenu of, do I want this to be a top menu item? Or do I want this to go underneath a different menu item? I click add to menu, then I click save. And now whether I am at that very specific URL or if I'm on my home page, I can click on that drop down and I can see my page here, New Homes in the Landings. Now, the other thing I want to just briefly touch on is, what if I want to add that page to one of these icons? So, hey, I want an icon here that links through to a custom page that I made. Not a big deal. I click edit. Maybe I want to add icon number 4. I'm going to choose this one to be maybe we'll do this little pig, and I want this to be, maybe I made a homes or farms and ranch page. I would select that link. I'd go to my custom pages. Again, this is going to pull up your company global pages as well as the pages that you've created. I click that link, I push OK, and now I've got another link on my page. Shelly, how do you change the area for featured homes? There's no place to input area, and the properties that already come up are that automatically come up. Shelly, are you talking on your home page? You have a section that is featured homes. What template are you using? Awesome. What design number are you using? No worries. And we'll look at it, and I'll be able to answer that. So, and Shelly brings up a really good point, and I do want to point out this. Today, what we're going through is really an overview of how each section works. But you may have chosen a design with an area that maybe you don't want on your page, or maybe you want to choose a different design. Because we are constantly updating and we're actually going through and editing, or not editing, we're auditing all of our website templates right now, and really going to start working through how can we go through each template, make it more search engine optimized, really give you guys really great solid features. It does really benefit you to go in and say, hey, I don't like this part of this design. Maybe I want to change it so that I can have more control over my individual design. It might be like an 11, Shelly. If you click on that design at the top of your page, the one that it opens up to is going to be which one you're on. So if you don't know what design you're on and you need to find out, when you go up and you click on design, it's going to always show the design that you have here. So let's go to design 2. And it's showing this section that says new listings, but it says featured listings. So if you wanted to edit that featured listing section on your page, you would click edit. And here you can change that title. But this is really where you want to go in and say, okay, so this is going to be my featured listings. What is the price range? What are the images? Am I going to feature, say only things with featured homes or open houses? How many listings do I want to display? But depending on what you've put in here, Shelly, is really determining what shows, and it's pulling from your MLS. So there isn't a way to, on this particular display, to change where these are geographically located. Now, what you can do is you can go through and say, okay, I like this design, but maybe I need to update it a little, and this is what I like about it. I like that it has that agent information in the upper right-hand corner, but I am going to move to a design that maybe has a different feature, because you can't do that. Design 24 is probably one of my favorite designs for agents. The reason for that is your image is displayed. It's got header images. You've got an option for video. There's a place where you can insert a YouTube section if you want. I personally really, really like this design. But on that particular design, Shelly, that is a functionality. It's pulling from the MLS, and it's pulling for the parameters that are in that. You cannot geographically filter those down. And like I said, it does depend on the template you choose on what features you're getting. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for typing it in the chat box and in the question box. And so this option might be a better one. I knew there was one I was looking for. Design number 22, Shelly, might be a better one. Because you'll notice here, if I go to featured properties on this one, I've got some additional options. I can also edit that banner. Here. So far this morning, we've gone through how do you edit your home page? How do you edit and add new pages? How do you edit your menus? And there are a few other things I'd like to go through. One, when we were creating our new page, I said you could always go back and edit the description and edit the metadata. To do that, you're going to click on the page options here and click on meta tags. And that is going to bring up your page details where you can choose to add a description, you can add additional metadata, and you can do that for any page that you create. You also can do that on your main home page. So if you want to add details to your home page, a description and metadata, you absolutely can do that. The next thing I want to talk about is what if you're doing some advertising on Google, and you're doing some advertising on Google, you're also doing some advertising on Facebook. How do you connect your analytics to your website? And there, underneath this advanced tab here, there is a place for Google Analytics as well as a Facebook pixel where you can say, hey, I need to insert my Google Analytics ID. If you do not know what this is, you can click here and there's a quick tutorial of what that is. If you are not doing anything with a Google Analytics code, you don't need to worry about what I just told you. The same works for your Facebook pixel, for your Facebook business page. You can click here. It will show you where that pixel is located. If you want to change your domain name, if you have purchased a domain name, so let's say that Chris has created or purchased a domain name, chrisdarbyrealestate.com, and wants to attach it to their domain. Awesome. Underneath advanced, there's a place that says change domain name. You would put your new domain name in here and click forward. There are a few additional steps that are needed, and I will send you the document today in the recap that has the information on how to finish doing that. But you absolutely can go in and attach your own domain. There is a question from Elisa that says, does a Facebook pixel change every time an ad is boosted / individual ID for each ad? No. That Facebook pixel is connected to your Facebook business page. Every page has its own pixel. So underneath that, if you have your Elisa Real Estate Facebook business page, it's going to have its own pixel ID. That page has its own ID. Yes, absolutely. Great question. Now, there are a couple other things that happen on your page that you do need to know about in case you don't. One is as people are searching on your website. So if they're searching for a listing or they're looking at a particular listing and they're filling out a contact form or sharing it on social, or if they're on your main homepage and they register for a portal or they click for what's my home worth, all of those leads are being routed to you within your Back at You office. And you choose how you get notifications for those leads. So when you are thinking about how you want to be notified of those leads, you are going to go into your back office and click on your name in the upper right-hand corner and then click on your profile. Once you're within your profile, underneath your preferences, you can see a section that says notify new leads by. And there's a section that says email, a section that says text, and a section that says phone. And so you are going to choose how you're going to get those notifications. Do I want them by email, always, never, or use my office hours? Do I want them by text, always, never, or use my office hours? Do I want them by phone, always, never, or use my office hours? So you're going to set the preferences for how you receive your leads. Once you click and say that you're ready to go, don't forget to click save on your preferences. So again, for all the leads that are coming in from your websites, whether it's a home valuation or it is on a particular property, someone's saving it, someone's texting it, you get your notifications based on your preferences in your profile. To set those up again, you go to your name, your profile, and then to the preferences tab, and you can see here new leads by email, by text, or by phone. Any questions on that part? Cool. The other thing I want to talk to you about is your information. So on your bio page, you can see, hey, more about me. It's got my photo, it's got my ID card, it shows my office map, and below that it shows information about my bio, my active listings, my testimonials. And this shows whether I'm on my website or if I'm on the company website and someone is looking for an agent and looks at my profile here, it's going to show on this page as well. And because it's showing on both my company page and my website, that's also something you're going to edit in the back office. To edit your profile, you click on your name and you go to your profile. And as you scroll to the very bottom of the screen, first you'll see your image here. So you can go in and see your images. You can upload a new image. You can change your image there. But at the bottom of this screen, you can go in, you can edit and put in a video URL. You can also edit all of your profile text. So I'm just going to quick go in and look at, because I'm in as a different user in the back office, but I want to look at this one. So if I want to change my photo, the first photo is always the one that displays. I can change my photo. I can upload a new photo by adding a file, going to my computer and saying, all right, I need photos. It will automatically upload that new photo. If I want it to be my profile picture, I need to move it to the first one. And then I can edit my About Me page. Once I do that, I click Save. And it's going to automatically then reflect on my page here. So again, to get there, we went into our name, our profile, and then on the details page, at the very bottom, we changed our video profile and our profile text. Any questions on that section? So, how many of you have edited your website in the last year? You've gone in, you've changed some photos, you've updated the feel, you've updated your bio, you've added some pages. Awesome. Perfect. So some of you have and some of you haven't. I am going to tell you that this is a great time to really dig in and spend some time editing your website. Spend some time while we are in this unknown zone, making your website reflect who you are in the business. More and more people are relying on the internet. They're relying on their agent to really know the business, and your website should be a reflection of you and how you do business. So spending some time to edit your homepage to make it look the way that you would like, or to go in and really dig in and create some additional pages, that is really where you start in capturing people on your site. And so going in and creating some specific listings pages for clients and creating your photos and making sure your profile is up to date is a really important thing. Awesome, Elisa. Can you tell me which video to watch to create a flyer with a URL? What kind of URL, Sheila, are you talking about? You want to create a property flyer, or you just want to you want to send people to your website? I need a little bit more information to answer that question for you correctly. Yep, I can absolutely answer that. I'm going to answer it in just 1 second. Belinda, you said you have to save again on this page. Are you talking about on your details page here after you edit your profile text? It came in a couple minutes ago, so I just want to make sure Yes, you do. You have to save on that page as well. Anytime you make any changes on any tab, make sure you're clicking the save button. There is nothing in all of life that's more frustrating than technology. And those people, the only people who aren't frustrated with technology, by the way, are the people who aren't using it. And so if you make all those changes and you don't click save, then technology just becomes more frustrating. So if you are creating, and this is a little bit of segue, I want to make sure before I answer Sheila's information or question about a property flyer, that there are no other questions about your website or how to edit your website, how to go in and edit your lead preferences, or how to edit your profile so that it's displaying on your site and your company website the way you want it to. Any other questions on that before I jump into how do I create a flyer with a URL? Awesome. So I am going to answer that question. I do want, for those of you that are going to jump off this, I do want to let you know that you have some resources at your fingertips. The first one is our YouTube channel. So this is a great place to go and search for videos. You can absolutely go in. If you wanted to know more about flyers, you could type in that search bar flyers, and it's going to bring up a whole bunch of how-tos on how to create flyers. You also have access to our Facebook group, and our Facebook group is called Back at You Office Mastermind. We would love to have you join us here if you are not a member. We post all of our trainings to this site. We also answer questions in video form when you're asking them. This is a great place to ask how-to questions. If you have support questions, I'm going to encourage you to go to your management team so that they can help you address those. And the last place that there is great information for you is at showtime.backatyou.com. And this is a list of all of our upcoming trainings sessions for you to join. So this is where you can go. Yes, Terry, I can on our YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and just search landing pages, there are a whole bunch of webinars that I've done on landing pages. So Terry, I just went to the YouTube channel, and then next to this, I clicked landing pages. I will share this link in that box with you right now, but that is a really good reference. That YouTube channel is a great reference for you all. So Terry, I just dropped that last link is there. You would create that custom page, and then making it a landing page really has to do with setting that registration trigger. So here where we were creating our pages, let's edit this page. If you want to make this a landing page, you would edit the registration required for that page. I wasn't going to talk about client reviews, but I absolutely can, Lisa. So Lisa just asked, hey, what about these client reviews? Where on that page, where are these client reviews coming from for your profile? And there's two places that those can pull from. The first place that they can pull from is your Zillow. So if you have a whole bunch of Zillow reviews that you want displayed on your profile, you can absolutely have those attached to your account. You would go into preferences, and then underneath that preferences, there's a section that says Zillow. Do you want to show your Zillow testimonials on your website? Yes or no? And if your email address on Zillow is different than the email address you have in your profile, you're going to put that email address here and click save. And then your reviews will show. I'm just going to quick show you what that looks like on a page that I know that there are some. And it will look like this. So you can see the green stars and that it's coming from Zillow. If you have your own client reviews that you want to enter into the system, you can absolutely do that. Underneath the marketing tab, there is a section called testimonials where you can enter in your testimonials. Hey, show it on the website, yes or no. What date did it come in? This is from Lisa, and her testimonial is working with Kelsey is great. She always answers questions. And then you click save. Once you do that, that testimonial is going to show on your agent page. Does that answer your question, Lisa? So again, if you want to enter in your own testimonials under marketing, testimonials is where you can enter them in. If you want to link your Zillow reviews that you've already gotten, you're going to go to your name, your profile, and underneath preferences, you can link your Zillow. Here, and click save. You can. So if you have past clients that have testimonials and you want to enter them in, this date field is editable. So you can go in and say, hey, I got this review on December 9th, 2019. So you choose the date. You're welcome, Lisa, and Elisa. No, you do not need to create a new static page with your reviews. You can add them in the marketing and they will show up on your profile. Because that's a great question. So Elisa asks, is that true in every template or only certain ones? Because your profile page is something you're editing in your back office, those testimonials, when you enter them in, are going to link to your profile page on both your website and the company website, regardless of what design you choose. Great question. All right. Sheila, I have not forgotten your question. Are there any other question about websites before we go on? I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. This is a lot of information in an hour. We are getting close to that end of the hour session. I am going to just quickly touch on how to create a property flyer so that Sheila can see that. But if there are no other questions about websites, I will jump into that portion. Thank you, Ashley. I'm glad it was helpful. So Sheila, to get into that marketing flyer, you're going to go to marketing and then my saved content. And then you're going to add content here by clicking the add content button. You're welcome, Chris. And then underneath that, once this box pops up, you're going to have the option to choose a property flyer. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to scroll down. There are some teams just listed, or I can go down and I can choose property flyers. So if I say, hey, just sold luxury, or if I want to go in and do just sold. Once I create that flyer, yes, you too, Lisa, I'm going to select the property. I could type in that MLS ID or whatever it is. It's going to insert that information in, but all of these fields you highlight over, you can edit. And I'm going to open up a flyer that I already did because they must be updating something. If I want to edit this, I can just edit this and I can actually just copy and paste a link in. So any of the flyers that have text, you can go in and you can say, hey, I need to edit that in. Oh, that's why. I was like, why isn't this showing up? So marketing, my saved content. I've got this property flyer. I want to edit it. It's got all the photos. I can edit that. This text here, I can put it in a website here. If I wanted to put it in the just sold, I could put the hyperlink here. So it depends on where you want to put it, Sheila, but that's how you can go about putting in a link. Does that answer your question? Alrighty. Hey, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Absolutely. And we'll talk to you all next week.